Welcome to the Motoring Podcast, your weekly discussion of motoring news. This is episode 667 on Tuesday, the 20th of January, 2026. Hello, I'm not Alan, I'm Andrew. And this week, you'll hear about how we like the normal colour of the sky so much, we slap it on our cars. In new car news, you will listen to how it's taken one company 52 years to win another European Car of the Year award. And in points of interest, we go on a theme. You can watch another Car of the Year award. And there is no follow-up this week, thankfully. So I will jump straight into the new news. And thanks to SMMT, we now know that grey is the most popular colour for new cars registered in 2025. Again. It's held the top spot since 2018. Oh dear. Grey had 26.7% of the market share. That's down slightly on the previous year. Black was up to 22.98. Blue kept third with a jump to 15.6% of market share. White dropped its market share down to 13.14. That must be because people are not registering Teslas as much. Then we drop down to silver. There's red, green, yellow, orange, and then mauve is the final in the top 10 with 5,711 cars registered, or 0.28% of market share. Really are some interesting figures in there. Also, do click the link in the show notes because you'll be taken to SMMT's own article. They've really worked hard to come up with the 10 colour facts, because number 2 says, as Wicked for Good finally hit cinema screens, green saw the strongest growth inside the top 10. Wow, you've really had to search high and low to do something with that. Yeah, it's good to see that there are other colours in the top 10. We just need them to be used more, please, everybody. And manufacturers, please specify that we can have colours. Do. Right, I'm going to move us on to the news that Honda is to adopt a new H mark or logo on their cars for their EVs and their hybrid electric models from 2027. Just think how other brands have gone with a flat logo so they can illuminate it from behind. It's one of those. Yeah, you'd look at it and you'd go, oh, that's Honda. They haven't gone too far out of where they were already. Great, so let's put more lights on the fronts of cars. Whatever. Moving on, though, and Mercedes has decided it will no longer, for the time being, offer their Level 3 driving assistance. They are going to only allow or only offer a Level 2 system instead. Now, the Level 3 allowed for under very strict conditions, which included speeds of up to 95 kilometers per hour on motorways with a vehicle in front and good weather. That is the only time that the Level 3 could be activated, and that would allow for hands off and eyes off. But the driver was given 10 seconds to stop whatever it is they're doing and take control of the car again, which is absolutely insane. I cannot fathom how any regulator decided that that was acceptable. 10 seconds when you're deep in something else that you now have to be up to speed and deal with an impending problem. Ridiculous. But so I'm for one, I'm very glad that this is no longer on the roads. And hopefully we can get the regulators to pay attention to the Level 2 pluses and all that, because that's just marketing bump. And they are, in fact, effectively trying to be Level 3. And that's not acceptable by putting the blame on the drivers. But good to see that's been removed. Hopefully it just stays off because they're not good enough. Talking of automated driving systems, Tesla has decided that you will no longer be able to outright buy their full self-driving assistance system. But fret not for those who think that Tesla and automated driving technology is good. You can still get it through a monthly subscription of $99. That will come into effect from February the 14th. And there is for, obviously, US customers only, because we do not allow that in the UK or in Europe as it stands. No matter how hard they put pressure on the Danish road safety regulator. well, he desperately needs the money, doesn't he? Let's be honest, the sales are plummeting pretty much everywhere except Norway. Can't quite work out why Norway are doing that, but that might change now, with the geopolitical things going on in crazy land. It just shouldn't be on the road, should it? Let's be honest. Right, some good news for the UK, and the government is going to put an extra £18 million into grants to enable electric HGVs to be bought. Now, this is tiered based on the size of the lorries, and it goes up to £120,000 of grant for lorries over 26 tonnes. Anything that helps people being able to buy electric HGVs is a good thing, because they can work for certain, as we've discussed on this show many times, certain setups and for certain companies and the way that they do business. It's not for everybody at the moment, and we obviously need much more charging infrastructure out there on public roads as well. But this is a good help, but also goes to show, once again, to try and get people or companies to move into these things, with having to give money to enable them to do it. But that's just an ongoing issue. It's a very short show this week. The news is there isn't much news. But as we round out, we can all take a huge sigh of relief and worry no more, or worry less, for the poor people of the southeast, particularly in London, and even more so in the council area of Lewisham, because they will be getting 200 more charging points thanks to Zest. As we know, the southeast is so poorly provided when it comes to charging systems, unlike the northwest or the northeast or the southwest or Wales. They are obviously all more than adequately dealt with, but the poor southeast, the people there who have electric cars really struggle to charge their vehicles. No, it's not that, is it? It's a good thing, though. As we move more and more to the full fleet of the UK becoming electric, we obviously need more chargers. Whilst my tongue is firmly in my cheek and I was extracting somewhat there on the lead into that, it is a good thing. However, it would be nice if the rest of the country was looked at. It really would. And not just in terms of numbers, but also in terms of actually the right type of charger for the right location. But there we go. And that rounds out the first part of the show. Like I said, there's not much news this week, and there's no Alan here for me to argue with, so that definitely makes it much, much shorter. That means it is Guilt Minute, and that's the quick break in the show where we ask for a tad of financial support to keep the lights on and the hosting running. If you feel that the Motoring Podcast is worth a small consideration every month, then you can become a patron. The different levels of patron include different levels of commitment from us to you, including being able to watch the show recorded live. We also have a small range of merchandise on our spring store, from stickers to mugs and t-shirts. If you don't have any spare cash, and we completely understand that, then you can help us by following for free from a podcast player or YouTube to receive every show as they're released, and by liking and rating the show in whatever way your podcast supplier lets you. If you've done all that, and some of you do, so thank you very much, then the last thing you can do is recommend us to your friends or colleagues. Thank you, everybody who has subscribed on the YouTube. If you haven't already, then please do, because it helps us, and it will help us to get to the point where we can actually monetize that channel and help bring in some extra income into the show to help us improve and do more things when it comes to the content that we produce. But also thank you for the kind words that we've received about some of the special editions that we released over Christmas, particularly the Kia Design Week. That's really appreciated. Thank you for listening to that, and thank you for the comments. That is great. And I'm glad that you liked the format and the ability that we got to discuss the cars themselves with the designers involved. That was really, really delighted that we could do that. Anyway, let us move on to new car news. And congratulations to Mercedes-Benz. Their CLA is the European Car of the Year for 2026. And it is the first time for 52 years since one of their cars won it. That was in 1974 with the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. However, it was quite a beatdown by the CLA. It was a full 100 points clear of second place Skoda Elroq. The Kia EV4 was third, which just beat the Citroën C5 Aircross. There was 59 jurors from 23 countries, and they were given a short list of 35 cars to choose from, and they got it down to 7, and then they voted on from there. There is a link to a motoring research article which you should read. Richard Alcock wrote that, and he is one of the jurors himself. The CLA then is a very impressive car by all accounts. It'll be interesting to try one out. Moving on, and Skoda has revealed the new 7-seat EV SUV, or the name for it, and it's called the Peaq. That's P-E-A-Q. Keeping in line with the Elroq and the Enyaq and the Epic. Yeah, okay. This is based on the Vision 7S concept car, which we saw first in 2022. When you think of Skoda, then you know that they are going to have space, they're going to have clever touches, and they are going to be a good proposition when it comes for value for money. It's apparently going to be based on the MEB, the Volkswagen Group MEB platform. So this will allow, which could allow, because there's no details really out there about what it's going to be, it could allow for 2- and 4-wheel drive variants, and up to 335 brake horsepower and batteries up to 85 kilowatt hours. When we know more details, then we will obviously bring those to you. I am sure that this will be a good seller, because people do seem to like Skodas, and they do like the electric Skodas as well. Finally, to round out new car news, Geely is confirming that they are going to bring a Land Rover Defender rival to the UK. They have a concept called the Galaxy Cruiser. It was first shown in the Shanghai Motor Show last year, but it's very close to production ready. And if we use the Motoring Podcast criteria for judging if a concept is a concept or almost ready for production, this has proper wing mirrors and proper door handles, so it must be quite close. It's apparently the production car will be based closely on the platform of the Lotus Electra plug-in hybrid. That means it's going to be massive. No idea in terms of price yet. They say that it's going to have good off-road capabilities, up to 800 millimeter wading depth, steer and brake-by-wire technology. Oh, goody. Yes. Oh, and excellent. They're going to use AI to assist the ADAS functions. Oh, marvelous. Whew, okay. It's expected to use the Geely Group hybrid powertrain, which is a turbocharged 2-litre 4-cylinder petrol engine with an electric-only range of up to 220 miles thanks to a 70 kilowatt-hour battery, which is, according to China's CLTC test cycle, which is apparently more generous than the WLTP. This is going to cost a pretty penny, and it will be interesting to see whether people go for this. Because you're going up against the Defender, which is obviously hugely popular in the UK, as well as the G-Wagon, which in internal combustion engine form has proved popular, not in electric form. And this is from a company that people really won't have heard of. You know, the most people on the street, you intelligent and lovely listeners will know about Geely because we've talked about them many, many times. That is going to be interesting to see how customers take to that and how good the car is. Hopefully we'll be in a position to let you know when it does come to the UK. Okay, that moves us on to points of interest. And we give you this week, you may have seen it over Christmas, but in case you didn't, there is the Evo Car of the Year for 2025 came out. They whittled down to 12 options. Then they had the real tough chore of going to the south of France for a week. I feel so sorry for everyone involved. Thoughts and prayers for you all. Whilst they established which were good, what were not good, any surprises. It's a 45-minute video. You get plenty of bang for no buck at all. There is a link in the show notes to the YouTube video. As ever, beautifully filmed. They go into detail about how they score the cars. You hear them discussing it, and then the final winner is announced. Brilliant. Personally, I feel one of the highlights of the year when it comes to automotive videos. I always look forward to watching this. Do click on the link and do enjoy that if you haven't already. List of the week, and this is thanks to Haggerty. And it's called Early 90s Super Saloons to Make You Swoon, and it's by Nathan Chadwick. There are some that you would expect in here, and there's at least one outsider. However, from this list of, I think it's 10, I am going to pick, it's probably quite a left field choice here, but the Maserati 430 4V. I love the look of the Maseratis of that time, very sort of wedgy shaped and everything. And because they're so unusual and so rare, I plump for that over some of the other choices, which are, like I said, you would, if there's a list of them, then you're going to, oh, well, it must have this, this, and this. I am choosing to not go that way, not that route. I'd obviously need to know a very good mechanic, I'm sure. And I'd need to have deep pockets to be able to buy one in the first place. But yeah, I do love these. Check out the link. Don't forget to let us know which of these you would have. Everyone loves a super saloon, I am sure. So yeah, so do check out that Haggerty link in the show notes. Right, I'm going to round out the show with an and finally, and it's thanks to Classic and Sports Car. And this is an old article, but one area that Classic and Sports Car does cover that we do like to dip back into now and again because they find some real crackers, and it's motoring art. And this time it's Andrew Ritter. Some of you may know him from Stanceworks magazine back in the day, but he's a trained artist, sculptor originally, but he makes sort of cartoonish cars that are recognizable, but done in a very, if you think, if any of you've seen The Incredibles and how the vehicles there were done, it's that sort of style where they're sort of squashed in, made a bit taller, but they're easily recognizable as the model that he's drawing, or that he's created. And then he also creates the backgrounds and everything for them to be in to give them some life. It's a lovely little article with some fabulous examples of the work he's done. Plus, at the bottom of it, there's a link to his Instagram and to his website in case you wish to go and purchase any of the stuff he has on sale at the moment. There are some cracking looking things. But I love this sort of stuff, that someone's got that ability to, and the vision to make that type of art. It's brilliant. Lovely stuff. Do check it out. That means, parish notes, actually. Next week, Alan will be doing a solo because I'm away. I will be on a drive day for the UK Car of the Year judging panel. We've got to check out the cars that have made it through to the final round and then decide which of those we feel is our top vehicle, or our top three, really. So I am away doing that next week, but then the week after we should both be back together and able to record properly, as it were, again. So for only the second time in 2026, which is quite mad by that time. But there we go. Anyway, between now and next time, don't forget that you can give us any feedback and share your thoughts with the show at motoringpodcast.com on Blue Sky, at Motoring Podcast on Instagram and Facebook, and the contact page of our www.motoringpodcast.com, the hub of all activities. Remember, you can support us financially via Patreon, and please leave a review and rating on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or however your podcast app lets you do such a thing. The best way to get in touch with Alan is to search for @AJP Bradley on Blue Sky. You'll find him there. For me, whilst I do have an account on Blue Sky, I'm not looking at it at the moment, so probably LinkedIn or the contact page. But we'll be back soon. And until then, I've been Andrew Clues. He's not been Alan Bradley. And safe motoring.